interested in donating to the new sports complex project, contact Donnie Masterson at 208-568-0288 for details. Let's all come together and get this new complex built for the student body and the community.
And, well, I would say we are back, but we had a little bit of a technical glitch going on over back at the studio. And right now we want to welcome back in the listeners for today's game. We've got Lumberjack Baseball here live from Priest River as your Lumberjacks are taking on the 3A Priest River Spartans in a non-league matchup. And the game is scheduled to start at 4 o'clock, and we are at 10:10, so we're doing pretty good on time, at least, getting everything worked out. I want to take a quick moment, hopefully, to look over some things for the other spring sports here. We've got Lumberjack golfers. They were at the Mullen Invitational on Monday. They won that, the whole team. They were the Mullen Invitational champions on Monday, so congratulations to them. They also had another golf match a little while back that they did really well at, so congratulations to the Lumberjack golfers on the start of their season. The boys and girls played in Orofino over the weekend. The Lumberjack girls swept Orofino 11-0 and 18-3 in their two games. In game one, Tacey Watkins retired 18 batters in that game. And then in game two, it was an 18-3 win for the girls. And Watkins pitched a few innings in that one. She struck out 4. Gracie Barden pitched 3 innings, and she struck out 6 in that game. So good job by them, and congratulations. And there's lots of stuff going on with the track. The track teams are doing pretty good as well. The Lumberjacks placed 4th at the Kendrick Invitational, and then they also placed, the boys placed 2nd at the Kootenai Invitational, and the girls placed 3rd at the Kootenai Invitational. So congratulations to them. I do have some individual numbers, but I'm running out of time to get through some of those for that. So there's one of those wind gusts that we were looking at coming up this afternoon. I do have to say, I know one of our umpires here today. He actually, I rode up here with him, so he is actually going to be behind home plate as well. Clark Grogan, I better be careful about what I say about him on the air, because he may make me walk home if I am not too kind to him. So that is what we've got, is the coaches are meeting at home plate with the umpires. Let's go ahead and take a look at the outfield for the Priest River Spartans, who are the home team. It'll be Connor Johnson pitching and Braden Reeves behind home plate. Over at first base is Naden Thompson. At second base is Shade Wong Yun. Over at third base is Kobe Rogers. Shortstop is Everett Hanna. In left field, it's Tyson Trout. Tyson Brooks in center field. Colton Brooks in right field. The batting order for the Lumberjacks, they're going to be leading off with Trace Wicks. He is playing shortstop. It'll be Cade Crawford at the batting number 2. Wyatt Holmes batting number 3. Cade Crawford is the catcher. Wyatt Holmes is third base today. Riley Abel is batting 4th. He's a right fielder. Gabe Thomas is batting 5th. He's going to be pitching. Brock Anderson is the second baseman. He is batting 6th. Milo Marsh is batting 7th. He's the left fielder. Tanner McMaster will be playing first base and batting 8th. And Sean Hunter will be playing center field and batting in that number 9 slot. We'll take one quick break here, and we'll be back with the first pitch.
Show your spirit and unleash your school colors with a debit MasterCard from P1FCU. With our exclusive high school and college designs, you can represent your school with pride. To join the P1FCU Mascot Madness, visit P1FCU.org to see all our designs. P1FCU, a Pacific Northwest original since 1938. Insured by NCUA.
Kenny and the crew at 10th Street Superstop invite you into the biggest convenience store in town. 10th Street Superstop is your one-stop shop for gas, propane, snacks, and ice-cold drinks. Stop in for breakfast or lunch, breakfast burritos and pizza to paninis and fajita burritos. 10th Street Superstop has something for everyone. Whether you're headed to a Lumberjack game or out into the woods, 10th Street Superstop is the place to stop for anything you may need. 10th Street Superstop on North 10th Street in St. Mary's.
And we are back as both teams back at their dugouts getting ready for action here. And like I said, it'll be the Priest River Spartans in the outfield first. I want to remind everybody you can catch this game as well on our YouTube. The link is on our Facebook page, so you can find it there. Taking a look at some numbers for the pitcher for Priest River. Let me see if I can find his stats real quick. As Connor Johnson will be pitching, he has an earned run average of 23.1 in 2 appearances. He's allowed 6 hits with 14 runs. 9 of those, 9 of those are earned runs. 11 base on balls, 1 strikeout, and 2 hit by pitch. He has faced 25 batters in 1.2 innings pitched. As a team, the Spartans have an ERA of 14.2. I want to let everybody know, though, that this is a young Priest River Spartan team. Not too unlike the Lumberjacks, who are fairly young themselves. Trying to find my stats for the Lumberjacks so I can give you an idea of our first batter, of what his stats are. And that is Trace Wicks that'll be leading off. And Wicks got a .421 batting average, 13 runs. He is a sophomore on 8 hits, 4 runs batted in for him. He's got 12 walks, 8 strikeouts. He's been hit twice in 33 plate appearances and 19 at-bats. That is Trace Wicks, who is batting in that number 1 slot. Trying to see what else I can let you know about upcoming schedules. Let's see. I think the girls and boys are both going to be at Grangeville on Saturday. That is what the upcoming schedule is going to look like. And that is the next game of this season for St. Mary's, is both in Grangeville. The JV girls are in Potlatch today, so we want to wish them good luck for their games in against the JV Potlatch Loggers. I was just listening to Coach Teft, I should say, and I believe what I've heard is that they have added a game to their schedule. It'll be kind of a JV game, even though we don't have a JV team, but they're going to be playing the Coeur d'Alene C Squad in St. Mary's. I forget what they said the date is for that game, and it will be at the Legion Ball Field. So as soon as we get more on that, we'll get it to you. But it's going to be kind of like a JV game. It's going to be the younger players for St. Mary's playing in that game. Connor Johnson is warming up on the mound. Is that Clark Rogan, our local umpire? He's going to be behind home plate for this thing as that wind whips up again for another gust up. It's going to be kind of a chilly evening here in Priest River, I'm sure. Johnson looks like he's got some pretty good speed on his pitches, looking at his warm-ups. Just about ready to get things going here. Trace Wicks now going to step into the batter's box for the Lumberjacks. And we are ready to go. Home plate umpire making sure everybody is ready. The Spartans in orange and black today. The Lumberjacks in their black jerseys with green trim and gold numbers. And the first pitch from Johnson is on the way. The game is underway, and that's going to be low for ball 1. Johnson back up to the rubber. Looks like he's going to be somewhat of a slow, deliberate pitcher for the Spartans. Looks in, gets his signal. The stretch and the pitch on the way. That one is going to be fouled back for strike 1. So Johnson makes his pitch, and then he walks off the mound and lays up to the bat towards the home plate to get the ball back to him. And it looks like he is just a slow, deliberate pitcher, at least to start this off with. Gets his signals now from Reeves, sets up on the rubber. The stretch and the pitch on the way. High and inside, it looked like. Ball 2, 2 balls, 1 strike to Trace Wicks. On deck for St. Mary's is Cade Crawford. He is a senior. Wyatt Holmes, a freshman, batting in the number 3 slot. Johnson gets his signal, looks in, set, now the stretch, and the pitch. That's going to be called strike on that outside corner of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Trace Wicks. Johnson again looking in, gets his signal. I'm sitting just to the right of home plate, right behind the backstop. That pitch is inside, ball 3, runs the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Wicks. So I've got a nice view here of the pitches. Johnson says yes to his signal from Reeves. Now the stretch and the pitch. Oh, and Wicks is going to swing and get this miss and a strikeout on that one. So it was a full count, and Wicks goes down swinging. 1 out for the Lumberjacks. That'll bring up Cade Crawford. He is a senior. Crawford batting .400 on the season, 10 runs on 10 hits. He's also got 8 RBIs. That pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. Look at the records. It looks like the Lumberjacks, that's the softball team. St. Mary's is 2-6 overall, 0-2 in league play. Low and inside, ball 2. The Spartans are 0-5 on the season. Johnson, next pitch on the way. That's going to be a little dribbler ground ball to the third baseman. He gets the stop. The throw to first is in time, not in time. The ball comes loose, and right now at the moment, Cade is safe. A little bit of a collision between him and the first baseman, and they're checking on the first baseman as I think he has a bloody nose. So he will have to come off and get cleaned up. My assumption is they'll have to stick somebody in there for him. As Cade Crawford and him had a little bit of a collision out there at first base. That is Naden Thompson. And it might have been his helmet that got a hold of him. So Johnson is a senior. That's the pitcher for Timberlake, or for Priest River. And Wyatt Holmes stepping to the plate for St. Mary's. He bats .143 on the season, 5 runs on 2 hits. He has 1 RBI, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, 2 hit by pitch in 20 plate appearances and 14 at-bats. They're still taking a look at Thompson over there in the dugout. As, like I said, he had a little bit of blood as he got hit in the face by Cade Crawford's helmet as he ran to first base. I think the throw kind of took him over the base. An incidental kind of contact there as the two ended up colliding. So the next broadcast for us after this game, I don't think we're going to be making it to Grangeville, but we do intend, we are here at Priest River right now. It looks like our next broadcast for the girls will be when they play against Oroville at St. Mary's, which is on the 24th of this month. And then the next broadcast of the boys is on the 23rd, and they host Orofino. On deck for St. Mary's after we get things rolling again will be Riley Abel, and Thompson heads back out to first base after getting cleaned up over there. And Wyatt Holmes steps to the plate for St. Mary's. 1 out and a runner on first for the Lumberjacks. Top of the first inning. Johnson takes a look over to first, now back in. The pitch on the way. That one's going to be low and inside. Nice stop by Braden Reeves, the catcher, as that was a one hopper in the box at Wyatt Holmes' feet. 1 ball, no strikes to Holmes. Johnson again looks to first. Crawford takes his lead. The stretch, the pitch, and he's taken off. Crawford is. That ball is going to be up and above and over the top of the catcher's head as it bounced off the dish. I'm going to give the stolen base to Crawford. 2 balls, no strikes to Holmes. Johnson getting his signals from Reeves. Sets up, takes a look over to second base as Crawford takes his lead off. The stretch, the pitch on the way. That one's going to be low for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes to Wyatt Holmes. Johnson off of the far left side of the rubber. The stretch, the pitch on the way. That's a called strike 1. 3 balls and a strike to Holmes. Another wind gust picks up there for us. Johnson set, takes a look to second base. Crawford has his lead off. And he's going to step off and chase Crawford back to the bag. Sets back up on the rubber. Looks over to Crawford again as he takes his lead. The pitch on the way, and that's a nice pitch. Going to get Holmes to swing. Strike 2, and it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Wyatt Holmes. 1 out, runner on second for St. Mary's. Johnson looks to second base. Now the stretch and the pitch. That one's going to be outside and in the dirt for ball 4, and that'll put Holmes on at first base. That brings up Riley Abel for the Lumberjacks. He's a freshman, batting .214 on the season. 1 run on 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and a double for him. On deck will be Gabe Thomas. First pitch is going to be a swing and a miss for strike 1. Johnson looks in, gets his signals from Reeves. Cade Crawford takes his lead on second for the Lumberjacks. Johnson looks over to Crawford. Now the stretch, the pitch. That one's low and maybe outside. Ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out for the Lumberjacks. Top of the first inning. Runners at first and second. Wyatt Holmes reached on a walk. Cade Crawford on a single. Johnson, the stretch, and the pitch to Abel. Just outside. 2 balls and a strike. Got a softball practice going on behind us, and they keep yelling heads, so I have to remind myself to look behind me just to make sure it's not going to hit me. Johnson sets up on the rubber, the stretch, and the 1-2 pitch, or 2-1 pitch, and that one is going to be inside for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike to Riley Abel. Johnson sets up, gets his signals. Crawford with his lead on second. That pitch is going to be ball 4, and that'll have the bases loaded. Gabe Thomas, a senior, steps up to the plate for the Lumberjacks. He's batting .579 on the season. He has 7 runs on 11 hits, 6 RBIs, 2 doubles. He's only walked once and struck out 5 times. Thomas also has 5 stolen bases. Stretch and the pitch. Inside and low on that one. Ball 1 to Gabe Thomas. No score, top of the first inning. Bases loaded for the Lumberjacks. The 1 out. Lumberjacks facing the Priest River Spartans. The Spartans, the 3A Intermountain League. Next pitch, and that one's going to hit Gabe in the leg there, and that'll walk, or actually bring a run across with a hit by pitch. Coach is going to go out and see Johnson real quick, as is the catcher. That'll be Brock Anderson stepping to the plate. He is a freshman. Batting .333 on the year. He has no runs, but he does have 4 hits and 3 RBIs. He's only struck out 3 times on the season. He's only had 2 plate appearances and 2 at-bats. Whole infield is in with their coach and their pitcher, as Brock Anderson is taking some practice swings out there. And the meeting at home at the mound is done, and everybody returns to their spots. Got bases loaded for the Lumberjacks with 1 out, 1 run has come across on that hit by pitch for Gabe Thomas. Johnson looks in, gets his signal, the stretch, the pitch. That one's down in the dirt for ball 1. Johnson, once again, is pretty deliberate in his pitches, takes his time on the mound, the windup and the pitch on the way. That was a nice-looking pitch. Outside corner, a swing and a miss, strike 1 to Anderson. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brock Anderson. On deck is Milo Marsh. In the hole is Tanner McMaster. Johnson gets his signal. Now the stretch and the pitch on the way. That's going to be a called strike 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Anderson. Bases loaded for St. Mary's with 1 out. The stretch and the 1-2 pitch, and that one's going to be in the dirt. Ball 2. Nice stop there by Reeves behind home plate for the Spartans. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Johnson gets his signal. Now set the stretch and the pitch. It's going to be a swing and a miss. A nice cut by Brock Anderson, but he's going to strike out swinging. That is 2 outs for the Lumberjacks. And number 44, Milo Marsh, steps to the plate. St. Mary's. Milo, a freshman, batting .500. 2 runs on 2 hits, 2 walks. He's had 6 plate appearances, 4 at-bats, and the first pitch is a called strike 1. Base is still loaded for St. Mary's with 2 outs. 1 run across here in the top of the first. Next pitch. That one's going to be down low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Marsh. On deck is McMaster. In the hole is Sean Hunter at the bottom of the order. Johnson, the stretch, and the pitch on the way, and Milo's going to take that. It was an off-speed one that was actually going to be a ball, but he took a swing at that one kind of late. It's going to be a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Marsh. Johnson, the stretch and the pitch. And Marsh is going to go down swinging with strike 3. That will retire the side. St. Mary's just come up with 1 run on 1 hit. There was no errors and 3 left on base. Going into the bottom of the first inning, St. Mary's leads 1-0. It'll be Everett Hanna, Braden Reeves, and Kobe Rogers leading off for Priest River. We'll be back.
Brent's Electric is a family-owned and operated business right here in St. Mary's. With 36 years of electrical experience, Brent's Electric has been serving all of North Idaho since 1996. From new construction to renovation, Brent's Electric can help. Give them a call today at 208-245-5725. That's 208-245-5725. Brent's Electric in St. Mary's.
Do you have a hazardous tree on your property? Do you need some trees or brush removed in preparation for a home or shop? You need to call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing specializes in the removal of dangerous trees, pruning, thinning, and chipping. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing also has a bucket truck for those hard-to-reach areas. So if you're in need of some thinning, tree removal, and site preparation, call Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing. That's at 208-582-2134. That's 208-582-2134. Andy's Arbor and Site Clearing.
And we are back, and let's see here. The lineup for the Lumberjacks in the outfield, it'll be Gabe Thomas pitching for St. Mary's. Cade Crawford will be catching. Tanner McMaster at first. Brock Anderson at second. Wyatt Holmes at third. Trace Wicks playing shortstop. Milo Marsh in left. Sean Hunter in center. And Riley Abel in right field. Gabe Thomas has an ERA of 19.2. He has 2 appearances, 10 hits, 12 runs, 11 earned runs. He's walked 6 and struck out 1. He has hit 2 batters, and he has faced 29 batters pitched for 4 innings. As a team, the Lumberjacks has an ERA of 8.4. Everett Hanna will be leading off for the Spartans. And trying to find his stat line for real quick. His batting average is .308. He has 1 run on 4 hits. And a double in his season so far. Just 1 strikeout. 14 plate appearances, 13 at-bats. Gabe's first pitch is going to be just a bit high and maybe a little outside for ball 1. I think it was more high than anything. Thomas looks in, gets his signals, the stretch, the pitch. That's a called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike to Crawford, or to Hanna. Thomas set, the stretch and the pitch. That's going to be a called strike in that same location. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The stretch, the 1-2 pitch, and that is hit deep into left field. Milo Marsh is trying to call for it, and he makes the catch for the out. Nice catch by Milo Marsh in left. That'll be 1 down for the Spartans. That'll bring up Braden Reeves. Braden Reeves, a senior, 143 on the season. 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts for him. 8 plate appearances, 7 at-bats. Thomas's first pitch to Reeves on the way, and he takes a swing at that and pops it up on the infield. Calling for it and making the catch is Wyatt Holmes from third base for out number 2 on the fly out. So 2 down, that'll bring up Kobe Rogers. Rogers has 1 ball and 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 1 hit by pitch. He's had 14 plate appearances and 12 at-bats. His ERA is 0, though. First pitch is a called strike right over the plate. On deck is the pitcher, Connor Johnson. Next pitch to Rogers, just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike to Rogers. Thomas looks in, gets a signal to stretch the pitch on the way. That is going to be fouled off for strike 2. Now it ends up over in the softball field just to the right of us. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kobe Rogers with 2 outs and nobody on for the Spartans. Thomas with the pitch on the way. That one's going to be left low, trying to get him to chase one there. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Rogers. The stretch, the 2-2 pitch on the way. That one is outside, runs the count full. I think that one missed a little bit further outside than Thomas wanted it to. And the full count pitch on the way. That one's right across the middle of the plate. A fastball, swing and a miss, strike 3. And that will retire the sides. 3 up and 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on for the Spartans. And for the Lumberjacks, it'll be Tanner McMaster, Sean Hunter, then back to the top of the order when we come back.
The St. Mary's Lumberjack Booster Club is asking for your help. The Booster Club continues to provide needed sports equipment for the St. Mary's High School sports programs, but what they have planned next is big. The Booster Club is in the process of building a new sports complex on land next to the high school parking lot. This new sports complex will include a baseball field, softball field, and soccer field. The fields will be built according to professionally engineered plans and will be ADA compliant, so all Lumberjack fans can enjoy the games. The Booster Club thanks the community for their support throughout the years. With your support, Phase 1 will begin this summer. If you are interested in donating to the new sports complex project, contact Donnie Masterson at 208-568-0288 for details. Let's all come together and get this new complex built for the student body and the community.
Archie's IGA is not only a proud supporter of lumber, but a proud supporter of the St. Mary's community and shopping locally. When you shop local, you help businesses support other local businesses, as well as helping your local businesses to provide jobs. Did you know that local business taxes help maintain communities and counties by fixing roads and maintaining recreational facilities? Local business owners invest in the community and have a vested interest in the future of our community. So won't you help Archie's IGA by supporting your local businesses and shop locally? Oh yeah, and let's not forget those lumberjacks.
And we are back. It will be Tanner McMaster to lead off for the Lumberjacks, batting in the number 8 slot. He is a senior. He bats .318 on the season. 5 runs, 7 hits, 6 RBIs. He has 1 double on the season. 4 walks, 9 strikeouts, 2 hit by pitches, 28 plate appearances, and 22 at-bats. Pretty good stat line there for Tanner McMaster. He is also a lefty. Johnson continues on the mound for the Spartans. He has 31 total pitches in the first inning. We're in the top of the second. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. Waiting for the next pitch from... That one is going to hit him on the foot, and that's going to send McMaster down to first base on the hit by pitch. That will bring up Sean Hunter. Sean Hunter is the only Lumberjack with a home run this year. He is a junior, batting .143 on the season. 5 runs, 2 hits, 6 RBIs. And like I said, he has that 1 home run, 6 walks, 8 strikeouts, 1 hit by pitch. 21 plate appearances, 14 at-bats, and the first pitch is going to be a strike. Oh, 1 count to Hunter. Runner on first for the Lumberjacks. No outs. Top of the second inning. Lumberjacks are up 1-0. McMaster takes a lead off on first. Johnson takes a look over to first. Now sets up on the rubber. The stretch, the pitch on the way. Nice looking pitch. A swing and a miss. Strike 2. 0-2 the count to Sean Hunter now as he's down in the count to Johnson. McMaster takes his lead on first. Johnson gets his signal, the stretch and the pitch. That one's in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Hunter. A little bit of a wind gust comes up, blows some wind off the fields, or some dirt off the fields. That one's inside. 2. It'd be a pretty good thing if the wind was blowing the wind. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Sean Hunter. No outs, runner on first. Johnson takes his sets up on the rubber, I should say, the stretch and the pitch. Swing to miss, and that's strike 3, and that will retire Hunter as he goes down swinging. Back to the top of the order, it's Trace Wicks, who struck out swinging his at bat. On deck is Cade Crawford. In the hole is Wyatt Holmes. Lumberjacks still have a runner over on first base. That's Tanner McMaster. Johnson takes a look over to first base. Now looks back into his catcher, Reeves, behind the dish. The stretch, the pitch. That one's going to be down low and in the dirt, and it's going to be past the... Well, it's going to be past the catcher, but Tanner McMaster doesn't quite have the wheels to make it over to second on that, or he kind of reacted late. 1 ball, no strikes to Trace Wicks. Johnson takes a look over to first, now sets back up, the stretch, the pitch on the way. Now it's going to be low, ball 2. I noticed that we've got Coach Crawford over at first base today and Coach Matt Smith over at third base. They're going to run in the show, it looks like, here for this game. Coach Tepp just hanging out in the dugout. Johnson sets up. The next pitch on the way as the wind blows. That's going to be a ground ball hit to the third baseman. He's going to try to get the throw to first, and it's not going to be there. It's actually going to be an error. It was going to be a single, but the error is going to be on the ball just getting past him and allowing the runner on second, that's McMaster, to get over to third. The runners at the corners with 1 out for St. Mary's. That brings up Cade Crawford. He got the first hit for the Lumberjacks. He had a single down to the third base line. Runners on the corners. You got McMaster sitting at third base. You got Wicks sitting at first. And 1 out. Johnson gets a signal, says yes to it from Reeves. Now sets up on the rubber. Runners take their leads. Johnson takes a look at third. Now the stretch, the pitch. Wicks is taken off. They're going to try the throw down. And McMaster is going to try to get back in. And Tanner started ahead to home, but he wasn't going to make it. They throw it over to third base. The third baseman bobbles the ball, and Tanner McMaster makes it back safely. I believe that was ball 1 to Crawford. No, it was a strike. They've got 1 ball, 1 strike on the board. I think they only had 1 pitch to Crawford, so. In the stretch, the pitch. That's going to be a swing and a miss for strike 2. So there is 2 strikes to Crawford. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on second and third for St. Mary's. Crawford waiting to bring him home. Trace Wicks sits at second. McMaster sits at third. Johnson takes a look over to third. Now look back in. Now the stretch on the way, and Crawford takes a healthy swing, and he's going to miss that one for strike 3. So 2 down. That'll bring up Wyatt Holmes. He walked his first at bat. On deck, Riley Abel. Johnson gets his signals from Reeves, says yes to whatever the call was, and the pitch is on the way. That one's going to be ball one. Looked like it was straight across the plate, but it was low. Johnson up 46 pitches already in only the second inning. And the stretch, the pitch. That one's inside, ball two. The pitch for a pitcher is just over 100 pitches, so he's getting close to half already. Two outs, runners on second and third for St. Mary's. Wyatt Holmes with 2 balls, no strikes at the plate. The wind starting to whip a little bit. Johnson takes a look to third, now set the stretch and the pitch on the way. That one is inside and low, ball 3. Three balls, no strikes to Wyatt Holmes. Johnson gets his signal. Now the stretch, the pitch on the way. That one is going to miss outside, and that'll walk Holmes over to first for the second time. That'll bring up Riley Abel, who walked his first at bat. Bases are loaded with 2 outs. Riley was one of the Lumberjacks with a double earlier in the season. A double right here would be a nice one to have. First pitch is going to be a swing and a miss. Strike one. Catcher lost that ball for just a minute, so everybody is getting back their positions as they were coming to cover. The pitcher was coming down to cover home plate. Johnson now set, stretch, the pitch on the way. That one's going to be in front of the plate. One ball, one strike to Riley Abel. That ball was a little bit of a wild pitch there again, and that one got just past the catcher, but he was able to grab it in time. Johnson gets a signal from Reeves. Sets up on the rubber. Stretch and the pitch on the way. That's a called strike just on the outside corner. Johnson has a very deliberate delivery there as he's just really calm and composed on the rubber, the stretch and the pitch. That one's going to be low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Two balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded, and 2 outs for the Lumberjacks here in the top of the second inning. St. Mary's leads 1-0, non-league action as the Lumberjacks take on the Priest River Spartans. You're listening on KOFE 1240 in St. Mary's. Next pitch. That one's going to be left high for ball 3. Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Johnson gets his signal from Reeves. Now we've got a quick time taken as Abel steps out of the box. I think he got a little bit of dust blown into his eyes with that last gust of wind. Now he steps back in. Johnson set the stretch. The Lumberjacks on the run. And that pitch is going to be inside and low, ball 4 as the hit and run was on. The run will come across for the Lumberjacks on the walk. That'll bring up Gabe Thomas, who was hit by pitch his first at bat. 2 runs across for the Lumberjacks as they are up 2-0. 2 outs and bases are still loaded. Gabe Thomas has a bunch of ducks on the pond that he's looking to bring home. Johnson gets his signals from Reeves. Set the stretch. Pitch. That one is tagged hard, but it's going to be go foul down the third base line for strike one. Swung just a little bit behind that one, I think. Johnson with the stretch. The pitch on the way. That one's going to be down low. Ball one. 1 ball and a strike. On deck is Brooke Anderson. In the hole is Milo Marsh. Johnson says yes to the call from his catcher Reeves. Now looks in. The stretch. The pitch on the way. And that one was an off-speed pitch that's going to miss for ball 2. That one missed outside. Johnson gets a signal, looks in, now the stretch, the pitch on the way, and that's going to be a grounder hit to the shortstop. They're going to get the scoop. The throw is not in time to first, and it's going to be an RBI single for Gabe Thomas. Gabe Thomas is a fast one. He's really hard to get out on a throw like that, even if it is on the infield. Well, that was just a little dribbler out there to the shortstop. Base is still loaded. St. Mary's now has 3 runs across the plate here in the top of the second. Brock Anderson struck out swinging his last at bat. Bases loaded, 2 outs. First pitch to Anderson is going to hit him in the arms, and that'll bring another run across. 3 runs here in the second inning across. That gives the Lumberjacks a 4-0 lead. Milo Marsh steps to the plate, and the coach is going to head out to the mound once again and see if he's going to make a change here or not. He has not got the ball from his pitcher yet, so we'll see. And now he has taken the ball. So he is making a switch here, and we will take a break. It is going to be number 18 that's going to pitch, and that is, if I can find him, I'll tell you who he is when we come back.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in Idaho. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
When was the last time you had great Mexican food? I mean, really great. Has it been a while? Well, grab the kids and head to Casa de Oro for dinner tonight. Casa de Oro has fantastic burritos, tacos, and chimmies, not to mention fajita and shrimp dishes. Little Johnny doesn't like Mexican food? Well, don't worry. Casa de Oro also has an American menu as well. Dinner and lunch a la fresca. Great service and margaritas with a kick. Casa de Oro, it's what's happening for dinner tonight. Casa de Oro on Golf Course Drive in St. Mary's.
And we are back. It is number 18 pitching for the Spartans. I do not have an 18 on the roster that I've got. So I need to see if I can add a player or something, because I don't have him in there. Next pitch was a ball, I do believe. That one's going to be fouled off. I tried to add an 18 to my roster, but I can't do it. I'm not sure who it is. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Marsh. I'm just going to leave that same pitcher on there until I might be able to figure this out. That pitch is going to be outside for ball 1. Ball 3 runs the count full. I thought I heard him say Everett. That's going to be a called strike 3. And that will retire the side. They get him looking. Lumberjacks do come up with 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, 3 left on base. We'll be back.
Tax time is here again. I know. It's not your favorite. But at H&R Block, tax time is our favorite time of year. It's when our tax pros get to do what they love the most, help people. By getting to know you, they can make sure your return gets done right. It's not just about numbers, boxes, and forms. It's about personal care, so you get every credit and deduction you deserve. And with an average of 10 years experience, our tax pros get your taxes done right. Just one of the many ways Block has your back.
It's time to reimagine your off-road experience because Yamaha has reimagined the side-by-side. Experience extreme adventure with the all-new 2021 Wolverine R-Max 1000 featuring an all-new 999cc parallel twin engine. Power packed for maximum comfort and versatility, the R-Max 1000 features fully integrated accessories including the Yamaha Adventure Pro navigation system and much more. See for yourself at St. Mary's Sun Cycle, then get out there and realize your adventure with Yamaha.
And we are back, and I believe that I got a name for the pitcher now for Priest River. That is Woodley. He was not on that lineup card or roster that I received from. They must have added him a little bit later or something because he was not on the lineup that I got from Coach Teff that was for Priest River. So that is just my boo-boo because I did have their coach offer me a lineup card right before the game started. That might have had him on it at that point. We've got Gabe Thomas on the mound for St. Mary's. Connor Johnson leading off for the Spartans. He's batting in the number 5 slot. He was the pitcher. First pitch is low and outside for ball 1. Connor Johnson batting, I think it was 0-9-1 on the season. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 RBI, 1 double for him. Swing and a miss at the next pitch. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Johnson. Gabe Thomas, next pitch on the way. Swing underneath that one. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Johnson. Stretch, the 1-2 pitch. Oh, lost control of that one. It's up high, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Johnson. That pitch was just a little bit high. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bottom of the 2nd inning. Spartans batting 4 in the game. Next pitch on the way. That is going to be laced foul. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. St. Mary's bus is kind of parked in a precarious position right there with the way that one was fouled off over there. They've got their windshield heading towards the, facing towards the field. Next pitch is down low, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count to Johnson. Thomas the stretch, the pitch, and that is fouled down the left field line. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. Something tells me that if he gets a good pitch and he puts the bat on it, he can put that ball out there. He's a pretty big kid. Looks like a strong boy. Next pitch from Thomas on the way, full count, and that one misses outside, and that'll walk Johnson down to first base. Tyson Brooks steps to the plate for the Spartans. Tyson Brooks batting .364 on the season. First pitch is high. He has 4 hits and 1 RBI, 2 doubles. Could be one of their top batters on the team. He's batting in the number 5 slot. That pitch is going to be low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes to Brooks. Thomas looks in, gets his signals from Crawford. The stretch, the pitch, that one's going to be well short. Ball 3, and the runner takes off. They are going to get the tag as Cade Crawford finds Brock Anderson in second place, and they catch him stealing. So 1 down as Connor Johnson was caught on the steal. 3 balls, no strikes, though, to Brooks. Next pitch on the way. That one's going to be a called strike 1. 3 balls on a strike now to Tyson Brooks. The stretch, the pitch, the swing. That is going to be hit foul. Trying to come over for it, but it's going to drift all the way out of play. And that'll be long strike right there. 3 balls, 2 strikes now to Tyson Brooks. Thomas looks into Crawford, gets his signal, stretch, the pitch on the way. That one is going to be fouled off into the softball field. And that one really got close to the coach for the softball team over there. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. That one's going to be fouled. Count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes to Brooks. On deck is Naden Thompson. In the hole is Colton Brooks. Spartans have 1 out, nobody on. Pitch on the way, and that's going to be outside, ball 4. So 2 batters and 2 walks for Gabe Thomas. That puts Brooks on at first. The other one that got walked on got picked off from Crawford to Anderson out at second base. That brings up Naden Thompson for the Spartans. Naden Thompson has 12 plate appearances, 10 at bats. And he's going to take the first pitch as a strike. He's walked twice and struck out 9 times. He has no batting average. It's a 0. On deck is Brooks, Colton Brooks. Thomas, the next pitch. Outside. Ball 4, and we're going to get a throwing error. No, not a throwing error. We're not going to credit that, as Crawford tried to get the throw over to first base, but he was way off target. And the ball made it out into the right field area, but Tyson Brooks had dove back to the bag, so he didn't have time to get up and try to advance over to second. So the Lumberjacks don't get credited with an error on that one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Thompson. The next pitch is going to be just outside, and that one's going to get past Crawford that time, and that'll get Brooks over to second base on a passed ball. 2 balls and a strike to Thompson. Runner on second base now for the Spartans with 1 down. In the number 6 spot on the batting order. That pitch was a nice one, and Thompson watches it come across. Strike 2. Thomas looks in, gets his signals, 2-2 count, takes a look over to second base as Brooks has his leadoff. The next pitch on the way, that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that'll be out number 2. That'll bring up Colton Brooks for the Spartans. Colton Brooks is a freshman. He has 1 hit by pitch and 1 walk, 5 plate appearances, 3 at bats. First pitch is going to be a swing and a foul for strike one. Mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast that it's a young Spartan team. They've got 4 freshmen, a couple of juniors, 1 sophomore, 4 seniors. And Lumberjacks now are going to get a pickoff, and they're going to get it as I believe it was Thomas to Trace Wicks to get the out, and that will retire the sides. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on base for the Spartans. Going into the top of the 3rd inning, St. Mary's leads 4-0. We'll be back.
You always hear on the radio, cross the bridge to savings. But it's true. St. Mary's Harvest Foods has what you need when you need it. And if you don't see it, then just ask one of the friendly staff and they will gladly help you find what you need. From meat, super fresh produce, and dairy, St. Mary's Harvest Foods will save you big on the things you need the most. No time to cook tonight? Then check out the Hot Deli for something quick for dinner. St. Mary's Harvest Foods, where you truly can cross the bridge to savings.
Is your rig's check engine light on? Idling a little rough? Time for an oil change. Maybe you need tires. Stop by Jim's Auto Repair and Tire Pros. Jim's Auto Repair can take care of your automotive needs fast. If you have a dead battery, Jim's Auto Repair and Tire Pros can set you up with a great AC Delco battery. We mentioned tires. Jim's Auto Repair is an authorized Tire Pros dealer and can get you a great deal on tires for your rig. Locations in St. Mary's and Plummer. Jim's Auto and 95 Tires. Give them a call, 208-686-0425, 208-686-0425, or stop by today.
And we are back going into the top of the 3rd inning. St. Mary's leads 4-0 over the Spartans, and it'll be Tanner McMaster leading off, the lefty. He was hit by pitch in his first at-bat. On deck will be Sean Hunter. Then he'll be back to the top of the order to Trace Wicks. It is Woodley pitching for the Spartans. First pitch is going to be inside for strike one on that inside corner. Woodley was not on my roster, so I do not have him in my stats program. So if you might be watching it on the YouTube channel, it does show Connor Johnson pitching, but that is not the case. McMaster is going to get that one and put it in play, but it's going to be hit out to the second baseman who scoops it up. That's Shade Wong Yoon, who sends over to first to Naden Thompson for the first out. That will bring up Sean Hunter. Struck out swinging his first at bat. First pitch misses for ball one. Nobody on and 1 out for St. Mary's. Next pitch from Johnson on the way. That's going to be a called strike. So being that Woodley is new to the roster for the Spartans, I don't have any pitching numbers for him. The stretch, the pitch, outside, just barely, ball 2. That looked like a curveball, 2 balls and a strike. Had a lot of movement on that. 2-1 pitch on the way. That one's going to come across low. 3 balls and a strike now to Sean Hunter. Woodley looks in, gets his signal. The stretch, the pitch. That's a called strike 2. Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes now to Hunter. Woodley, the pitch on the way, and he's going to ring him up on a called strike 3. Back to the top of the order, it'll be Trace Wick stepping to the plate with 2 outs, nobody on. He struck out swinging his first at bat, hit a single down the third base line in his second at bat. First pitch to Wicks is up high for ball one. On deck for the Lumberjacks will be Wyatt Holmes. Oh, no, Cade Crawford. That's a strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike to Wicks. Woodley gets his signals, now set. The stretch and the pitch. That one's in the dirt. Ball 2. That one hit just in front of home plate and popped up way high. Came off the chest plate, it sounded like, of the catcher, Reeves. 2 balls and a strike to Trace Wicks. Nobody on, 2 outs. Top of the 3rd inning. St. Mary's leads 4-0. Woodley looks in, signal set, the stretch, the pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss. Strike 2. That was a nice looking pitch and a nice looking cut by Wicks that didn't make contact. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Johnson, the stretch, the pitch. That's going to be hit out to the second baseman, and he's going to bop it off his chest. It took a funny hop, and I'm going to, I don't know, they might give that as an error, but I'm going to give it as a single, as that took a nice hop off of the chest of the second baseman, Wong Yoon, and popped out into the right field there. So Trace Wicks is on with a single. Cade Crawford steps up with 2 outs. Crawford struck out his last at bat. Hit a single in his first. Woodley checks over to first, sets up on the mound now. The stretch, the pitch. That looked like an off-speed one that was just about the knees, called strike 1. Oh, 1 count to Crawford. Woodley takes a look over to first, now sets up. The stretch, the pitch. That one is going to be inside. He's going to pop that one off of the handle of the bat, and it's going to be foul for strike 2. 0-2 count to Crawford. Now he has to battle. Woodley gets his signals from Reeves. Takes a look over to first base as Wicks has a little lead, and they're going to throw down over to first. Not going to get him, but Wicks has to dive back to the plate. He's still laying there, and now he gets up. Got his nice new jersey dirty. Retakes his lead on first base there. Woodley takes a look, the stretch, the pitch. That one's going to miss outside. That was a really off-speed pitch, as that one was a lot slower than what I've seen. That might have been a curveball attempt by Woodley. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Crawford. Woodley takes a look to first again. Wicks takes his lead. The pitch on the way, and that's going to be a foul ball down the third base line. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes to Crawford. Woodley again gets back to the mound, takes a look over to first base to see where Wicks is at. Wicks is on the bag. Now he takes his lead as Woodley's looking at him. Now he looks back in, the stretch, the pitch, a line drive, actually a ground ball. It's going to be bobbled, and everybody's going to be safe, and I think I will give that one an error. Maybe not an error. I'm going to give the benefit of that one again, as that one took a hard hit. That one took a tough hop off the ground and made it hard for Hanna to play from his shortstop position. I'll give him the single. Cade Crawford, Trace Wicks on first and second base, 2 outs. First pitch to Wyatt Holmes is going to miss outside. That is going to be a ball 1. Wyatt Holmes has 2 walks to his credit in this one. St. Mary's has 5 hits in the game. A couple of those somebody might put as error, but I put them as hits, so that's where we're at. 4 runs on 5 hits for the Lumberjacks. That one's outside, ball 2. Lumberjacks put 1 run across in the first, 3 runs in the second. They have yet to bring one across here in the 3rd inning. Runners again at first and second. 2 outs. Wicks at second, Crawford at first. Holmes batting. Woodley with that next pitch. That one looked pretty good, but I think it was down low. Ball 3. Riley Abel should be on deck. And he is. That'll be Gabe Thomas in the hole if the next couple of batters get on for St. Mary's. Woodley sets up on the rubber, takes a look over to second base. The stretch, no, he's going to throw over to second. The ball is loose. Was Wicks going to get there in time? Yes, he is. They did not get the ball there in time. Wyatt Holmes is headed down to first base. He thought it was ball 4. So 2 outs, runners at second and third. Wyatt has 3 balls, no strikes. That one's going to be strike 1, as I think he got the take signal from Coach Teff to take the next pitch. 3 balls and a strike now to Holmes. Woodley looks, the pitch on the way. That's a called strike. I don't know if he was supposed to take 2 pitches. That's 3 balls, 2 strikes to Holmes. Woodley looks in, gets a signal from Reeves. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Or no, not bases loaded. We got runners on second and third. Next pitch down low, and that'll be ball 4. Now the bases are loaded. With 2 outs, that'll bring up Riley Abel, who has walked his first 2 at-bats. On deck is Gabe Thomas. Woodley gets a signal from Reeves. Doesn't have to worry about the bags now as they're loaded. Next pitch is going to be up high. 1 ball, no strikes to Abel. Woodley looks in, shakes off the first call, now looks over to first base as Holmes takes a lead. Next pitch on the way, and that's going to be fouled off for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Riley Abel. Abel steps back into the box. Lumberjack runners take their leads. Woodley takes a look over to first base, now checks third, and now to second. Now the pitch on the way. That one's high and over the head of Abel for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Two balls, 1 strike to Abel. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Next pitch on the way, and that's going to be a nice looking fastball inside corner, strike 1, or strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Abel. Goes to protect mode now for his plate appearance. The stretch, the pitch. Outside and low. That one's ball 3, runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. They're going to try the throw over to first, and they're going to get the error there on the first baseman, and a run will score. Count remains full to Abel. Runners now at second and third after the error. And that's going to be a ground ball. The second baseman is going to play it and get the throw to first in time. and that will retire the sides. 1 run comes across for St. Mary's in the top of the third. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error on the Spartans, 2 left on base. Going into the bottom of the third, St. Mary's leads 5-0. We'll be back.
Hughes Ace Hardware wants to invite you to come in and take a look. Hughes isn't just about hardware. Whether you need dish soap and sponges to clean up after your husband's guys' night or storage solutions for your wife's shopping addiction, you can find it at Hughes. Come see the difference. Everything you need, from a blow dryer to replace the one your toddler dropped in the toilet to a bathroom scale to help your hubby stay on his fitness goal. Hughes Ace Hardware, the place to get the products you need and the help you want all the time, every time. Jack Buell Trucking knows that there are few things as important as wise use of our natural resources. And by utilizing the chips in the manufacturing of lumber, that is exactly what is accomplished. If you look beyond the wood chips, you see an entire community of schools, churches, and businesses. And most importantly, people. Jack Buell Trucking believes in responsible harvesting of our natural resources. After all, when you take a close look, those aren't just chips. They're an entire community. Jack Buell Trucking.
And we are back going into the bottom of the fourth, I do believe. Bottom of the third. I don't remember. I got out of my screen that shows that, so I'm trying to see where we're at. I want to give a quick shot of Gabe Thomas, who is still pitching. 6 batters faced. He has 2 strikeouts and just 2 walks. Not having a too bad of an outing so far. No hits allowed at the moment. So Gabe Thomas continues on the mound, just 33 total pitches. And the score 5-0 in favor of St. Mary's. Bottom of the third inning, now that I'm back to the right screen. The scoreboard here does not show the inning. And it is Colton Brooks, I do believe, and he's going to take the first pitch for a called strike 1. Next pitch, that one's up high, ball 1. Colton Brooks has 1 walk on the season, 1 hit by pitch, 5 plate appearances, 3 at-bats. I think he was actually up at the end of the last inning. That pitch is going to miss. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to Colton Brooks. Lumberjack Baseball on KOFE 1240 in St. Mary's. I'm Tim Parrish, and we're live in Priest River. That next pitch is going to be tapped out into right field, and it's going to be a base hit. Just gets over the top of the head of Tanner McMaster. It's a nice little line drive that just out of the reach of the glove of McMaster and just kind of teased that foul line down there. So the first hit for the Spartans comes in the bottom of the third inning as they trail 5-0. Tyson Trout steps to the plate for the Spartans. He's a freshman, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, 11 plate appearances, 7 at-bats, and that's going to be a line drive right back at Gabe Thomas, and the runner on first gets a little bit too much of a lead, and he's going to be out. And Gabe Thomas just reached his arm out there. I'm not sure what to call that. I'm going to call it a double play. It may not have been a double play. Anyways, I'll bring up Shade Wong Yoon for the Spartans with 2 outs. He's batting in that number 9 slot. Batting .250 on the season. No runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 5 appearances, and 4 at-bats. And that first pitch is going to be strike 1 as he swings at it, I do believe. I was looking at his stats for the moment. Next pitch on the way. Outside corner, strike 2. Looks like they got the scoreboard corrected up there at the other side as it now reflects the 5-0 lead for the Lumberjacks. The stretch, the 0-2 pitch, and that one's going to be up high for ball 1. And they even fixed the inning. Now they don't have the balls and strikes going up there. Next pitch is going to be down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Wong Yun. 2 outs for the Spartans. The stretch, the pitch. That one's going to miss low and outside, and that was actually ball 4, I guess. I missed a pitch there somewhere. That put Wong Yun on at first with 2 down. That'll bring up Everett Hanna. No, that is not. This might be Everett Hanna. Maybe he's number 18 and not number 8. We'll see what they say. First pitch is outside, ball 1. I thought I heard somebody else call him earlier. The stretch, the pitch. That's going to be a ground ball to the third baseman, Holmes. The throw to first is in time. That will retire the sides on the ground out. The Spartans do have no runs, 1 hit, no errors left on base. And it is 5-0 in favor of the Lumberjacks. We'll be back.
It's been a trying year for parents. They've been confronted with countless challenges and have always risen to the occasion. If it isn't too much to ask, the 50,000 high school student athletes in Idaho have one last request.
Please, set an example.
Disorderly fan conduct at high school athletic events is on the rise. It increasingly involves parents. There's no question that parents are passionate. There's no question they care about their children. But at a time when we're all wound a little more tightly than usual, it's worth remembering this about Idaho high school sports. Always be a good example. Stop unruly fan behavior before it starts.
This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
And we are back. And I do want to make note that I've been told that the guy on the mound is Woodley, but I've heard somebody call him Everett. Now, his name could be Everett Woodley, but there is an Everett Hanna on their roster, so he is number 8 on the rosters that I've seen and had. So we will have to just wait and see. I don't know if I've seen a number 8 anywhere else on the field, so he was playing short. And that looks like that's, I'll have to take a look and see what the number is on the shortstop. That pitch is going to be, blooper that hits is going to be safe. Just a little blooper over to the third baseman. And I actually do believe that is Everett Hanna that is pitching. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put Everett Hanna there. Shortstop is the third base, is Colby Rogers, who was at third. And the original pitcher, Connor Johnson, is at third base. So that's what I am going to do on my stat sheet there, or my stat program. The Lumberjacks have one runner on with the hit from Gabe Thomas. Brock Anderson steps up. He was struck out swinging and hit by pitch in his last at bat. This is his first time facing Hanna. And he's going to foul that first pitch off for strike one. Hanna takes a look over to first. Now looks back in, gets his signal, the stretch, the pitch. Outside, ball one. The throw to first or to second is not going to be in time. Thomas gets the stolen base. Got one of the Spartan players behind me. Let's see if I can catch him on his way back by to make sure. He didn't come close enough for me to track him down. Runner at second after the stolen base. That pitch is going to miss outside. Two balls and a strike now to Anderson. Takes a look over to second. The pitch on the way. That was a nice looking sidearm fastball. Strike two. And we had a third strike that gets Brock Anderson safe. So the drop third strike, and Brock Anderson is safe at first, and that was actually kind of an error too, probably, as that one, the throw down would have been there in time. If the first baseman would have grabbed it, I should have marked that as an error, but I did not. Pickoff attempt is not in time. So no outs, runners at the corners for St. Mary's. Milo Marsh, I believe, is up to the plate. He is. So strikeout looking and strikeout swinging for him. First pitch is outside no, they call it a strike. And then we have an error out from the pitcher. Brock gets all the way over to third on the same error on the throw out to center field, and the coach quickly calls time and calls his infield in. He did not sound too happy with the way that sequence took place, so they've got a quick timeout up there at the plate. At the mound, Milo Marsh has one strike, no balls, and a run across for St. Mary's. They lead 6-0. That's the third visit out to the mound for coach for the Spartans. Umpire Grogy goes out and goes to make sure they hurry their little mound meeting up. And they do. They break their huddle. Everybody back to their spots. Oh, 1 count to Marsh. I believe that's Everett Hanna pitching. I will try to verify that as soon as I can. Next pitch is on the way, and Marsh takes a nice swing. Strike 2. 0-2 count to Milo Marsh. Runner on third base for the Lumberjacks with no outs. That's Brock Anderson over there at third. Hanna takes a look to third. Now the stretch, the pitch, and he's going to take a swing at that one to protect his plate appearance and fouls that one over the backstop. That one looked like it was in on the hands, but it was still a good one to take a swing at. If you think it's anywhere close, you're going to swing. So it's a 0-2 count to Marsh. The stretch, the pitch. That one's going to be down low. Nice stop by Reeves. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Marsh. Once again, top of the 4th inning. Nobody out for St. Mary's. Brock Anderson sits on third base. 1 run has come across for the Jacks. Next pitch on the way. And that one's inside. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Marsh. Marsh, one of the 6 or 7 freshmen on this Lumberjack varsity baseball team. Next pitch, he's going to take a swing. That was a nice pitch to swing at. It's going to be strike 3. And that'll retire Marsh back to the dugout. That'll bring up the lefty, Tanner McMaster. He's been hit by pitch and grounded out. 1 out, runner on third for St. Mary's. 1 run across in the top of the 4th. It is 6-0 in favor of the Lumberjacks. Hanna's first pitch is going to be swung on. It's grounded to the second baseman, and the throw to first is in time. But Brock Anderson will come in. That'll bring up 2 outs. And the bases are clear now. Nobody on. Sean Hunter steps to the plate for St. Mary's, the junior. Strikeout swinging and strikeout looking for him. First pitch, outside corner, perfect level, strike 1. Hanna looks in, gets his signal, sets up the stretch, the pitch on the way, and he's going to take a swing at that one and get a piece. Foul ball, strike 2. Hunter quickly down in the count, 0-2. The pitch on the way. Oh, takes a swing at that one, got a little piece of it, fouls it back, still 0-2 in the count. No balls, 2 strikes. When you're in that position, you swing at anything close and hope to get a piece of it. Next pitch on the way, and again, there's going to be it's going to be a foul tip is what it is. It's caught, and it's going to be out number 3. So the Lumberjacks do come up with 2 runs on a hit. There was 1 error. There was none left on base. Going into the bottom of the 4th, it is St. Mary's 7, the Spartans 0. It'll be Braden Reeves leading off for the Spartans, and we will be back.
At Good Neighbor Pharmacy, we're committed to being your good neighbor.
Good Neighbor Pharmacy is an independent network of over 3,000 pharmacies throughout the United States, giving us the buying power to compete with the chain stores.
We'll fill your prescription quickly and safely, and you're supporting a locally owned pharmacy.
Your copays are the same wherever you go. Why not come and visit your locally owned pharmacy professionals?
Jack's Pharmacy is your Good Neighbor Pharmacy here in St. Mary's. Come in and say hi. Jack's Pharmacy.
Everyone knows that the timber industry is a huge part of our community. Working in the timber industry requires big equipment. Big equipment requires a special mechanic or custom machined items to repair. Jake's Machine and Repair in St. Mary's is your very own full-service, large equipment diesel mechanic that not only has a full-size shop, but also has a service truck that can come straight to you when you break down in the woods. If you're in need of big truck or big equipment repair, stop by Jake's Machine and Repair at 106 Homer Drive in St. Mary's or call 208-596-8819. 208-596-8819. Jake's Machine and Repair in St. Mary's.
And we are back. It's Braden Reeves leading off for the Spartans, batting in the number 2 slot. He flew out his first at bat, and it's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop, Wicks. The throw to first is in time, and a nice stretch out by McMaster to get the out. McMaster really had to stretch that leg out there to keep it on the bag. Gabe Thomas continues on the mound. Through the first 3 innings, he only has 47 pitches. Defense has been playing well for the Lumberjacks, and the pitching has been doing pretty good, too. He's got a box and a couple of strikeouts, but the defense has been pretty good for the Lumberjacks so far in this one. That'll bring up Kobe Rogers. And he's going to take a healthy cut at that first pitch and foul it off for strike number 1. He struck out swinging in his first at-bat. On deck is Connor Johnson for the Spartans. In the hole is Tyson Brooks. Oh, and that's going to be a hit by pitch as Gabe got him in the shoulder with that one. That'll put a runner at first with 1 out for the Spartans. Connor Johnson walked his first at bat. He steps to the plate. In the hole should be Tyson Brooks. Thomas takes a look over to first base. Now back in the stretch. The pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Thomas taking a look over to first base as he walks back up the rubber. Takes a look to the dugout. Probably getting some sort of signals from the coach as well. Now he takes a look back over to first base as Rogers takes a leadoff. Now they're going to throw over to... They're going to throw it over to first base, and we're going to get an error, I believe. I'm going to give that on McMaster, I think. Throwing error on the pitcher as McMaster pivoted over, and he ended up straddling Kobe Rogers as Rogers was trying to get down the baseline. So 1 strike to Johnson. First pitch misses inside, or next pitch misses inside, low for a 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner on second with 1 out. Thomas takes a look to second base. The stretch, the pitch. He's going to swing at that one for strike 2. Looked like it might have been a little low, but he let it go by, but it's going to be a strike on that swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Johnson. Crawford takes a look over to second. Now the stretch, the pitch on the way. That was almost that same pitch pitch, and he didn't swing at that one. It was low for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Thomas gets his signal. The stretch, the pitch on the way. That's going to be a swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Johnson will go down swinging. 2 outs for the Spartans with a runner on second base. That'll bring up, I believe, it is Tyson Brooks. He wants first at bat. Naden Thompson is on deck. First pitch is a nice level, but a little bit outside. Ball 1. Thomas takes a look to second base. Now the stretch, the pitch. That one maybe a little bit low. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Brooks. 2 outs and a runner on second base for Priest River. Bottom of the 4th inning, St. Mary's leads 7-0. Thomas, the pitch on the way. That one's going to be high and inside. Ball 3. Thomas back onto the rubber, ready for the next pitch. 3 balls, no strikes to Brooks. The next pitch on the way, and that's going to be a called strike as Brooks takes that one. Probably had a take signal on that one. 3 balls, 1 strike to Brooks. See if Thomas can battle his way back in here to this pitch count from the mound. Thomas, the next pitch on the way. That's going to be a line drive out to center field. Coming up to make the catch on it, or not to make the catch, but to stop it is Hunter. They're going to try to get the throw into first. It is not going to be in time. And 1 run will score, and Brooks will make it over to second on the throw. Nice single on the line drive out to center field. So 1 run across for the Spartans now. St. Mary's leads 7-1. 2 outs, runner on second base. Naden Thompson struck out swinging his first at bat, and he is at the plate for the Spartans. First pitch is up high, ball 1. Coach Teft was having the boys work on a drill yesterday that would help with that fielding out there in yesterday when they were doing this. That pitch is going to be low. And they're going to get the throw to third, but it's not going to be in time. I should have given a stolen base there, but it was not. Going to get a time called by Blue. Two balls, no strikes to Thompson. Umpire had to take a little time there as I think he got hit in the elbow by the ball. Next pitch is going to miss outside. Ball 3 to Thompson. Runner on third for the Spartans as they've got Brooks in scoring position. 3 balls, no strikes to Thompson. Bottom of the 4th inning, 2 outs for Priest River. Thomas just needs to get 1 more out. That pitch is going to miss slow and outside. Ball 4. And that'll send Thompson down to second, where to first with runners at the corners. Thomas now at 63 pitches in the game. Crawford going to go out. Nope. And give his defensive signals for first and third here. Steps back behind the dish now, ready to get going. Colton Brooks steps to the plate. He is 1 for 1. He had a single his first at bat down the left field line, or right field line. First pitch is kind of a pitch out type of a thing. It looked like they were going to try the pickoff down at first, but they didn't have it, so it's a ball 1. Thomas gets his signal, looks in, takes a look over to third base. The stretch, the pitch, that's going to be fouled back for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Brooks. Next pitch on the way. He's going to hit that one out into center field. And that's going to drop for a base hit, and that'll bring in another run. Hunter gets the throw, and everybody's going to be safe on an RBI single, as that was a pitch that was maybe going to be a ball, but he took a swing at it up high, and he puts it into play. Runner still at the corners for the Spartans with 2 outs. They've got 2 runs across here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Tyson Trout is up. He hit a line drive right at Gabe Thomas, his last at bat. Thomas caught it for the out, threw it over to first for a second out, and that retired that last inning. Thomas is going to fake the throw over to third, trying to bait the runners to run, and nobody bites. Thompson does go back to the bag over at third base. Now he's looking in. He signals the pitch on the way, and that's a nice pitch. It's a called strike 1. Oh, 1 count. Pitch on the way. That one's going to be low. Nice stop by Crawford. 1 ball, 1 strike to Trout. Thomas gets his signals from Crawford. Set, the look of the bags, the stretch, the pitch. That one's just outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Tyson Trout for the Spartans. The stretch, the pitch. That's a called strike 2. 2 balls, strikes. Next pitch is inside. Runs the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Thomas looks in, gets his signal from Crawford. Runners take their lead. Thomas takes a look over to third. Now the stretch, the pitch. Oh, that one misses outside, ball 4. Loads the bases up. That'll bring up Shade Wong Yoon, who walked his first at bat. Coach Teft is going to head out to the mound and have a visit with Thomas to see how he's doing. The infield comes in as well. This is the number 9 batter, I believe, for the Spartans. It is the second baseman. Quick visit there with Thomas on the mound. Everybody heads back to their spots on the base, on the field. First pitch is going to be a swing and a miss. Strike 1 by Wong Yoon. Thomas looks in, gets his signal from Crawford. The stretch, the pitch on the way. That's a called strike on a beautiful pitch from Thomas. 0-2 is the count now to Wong Yoon. Base is loaded, 2 outs. The stretch, the pitch. Oh, that one's going to be in the dirt. Kate Crawford does a good job of getting back that ball. It took a nice little bounce off the backstop here and rolled back towards him, so it made it a little bit easier to get it. Kept everybody at the bases. So still bases loaded. 2 outs, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Wong Yoon. The stretch and the 1-2 pitch on the way. That one's going to be up high, and that evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Thomas gets his signals. The stretch, the pitch. That's inside, and that'll run the count full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Thomas looks in, gets his signal, looks over to third base real quick. Now sets up the stretch, the pitch, the swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that was a caught foul tip, I do believe, and now we'll retire the sides. The Spartans do record 2 runs on 2 hits and 1 error. There was 3 left on base. Going into the top of the 4th, or going into the top of the 5th, it is 7-2 in favor of St. Mary's.
Have you ever noticed that some companies are around for decades and you really don't notice them until you actually see them? Kenneth Bechtel Trucking is one of these. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking has been a fixture in St. Mary's for decades and still is a community-involved business. Take the time to thank these entrepreneurs that quietly make it on their own and make our community all the better for it. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking. Give them a call today at 245-7209. Kenneth Bechtel Trucking, a community staple and lumberjack supporter. Good luck, Jacks.
Afraid to touch that breaker box? Need some rewiring done? Call the professionals at M&S Electric. With nearly 40 years experience, there's no job too big or too small. Industrial and commercial to residential and service work, M&S Electric isn't afraid. Serving Benawah, Shoshone, Kootenai, and Latah counties, M&S Electric has you covered. Overhead work, M&S can do that too with their bucket truck. M&S Electric, 408 Main Avenue, St. Mary's. Give them a call, 208-245-3890. No job too big, no job too small. We do them all. M&S Electric.
Yeah, we are back going into the top of the 5th inning. Pretty decent game going here. St. Mary's leads 7-2. The Spartans able to plate a couple of runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Lumberjacks have 6 hits. The Spartans with 3. 1 error on the Lumberjack defense, 3 errors on Priest River. And really there could be, depending on how subjective you are, there could be 4 hits and 5 errors. 4 hits for St. Mary's and 5 errors for Priest River, if depending on how you counted some things. But I've got 6 hits and 3 errors for the Spartans. The Lumberjacks have 8 left on base, and the Spartans with 4. It'll be Trace Wicks leading off. After he struck out in his first at bat, he has 2 singles, and one of those was to the third baseman. The other one was out to, that was one of those ones I maybe could have given him a error, but I did not give it. That's a chopping ground ball that's just good enough to get him in safe on the single, and that was just a ground ball that was really hard hit that really took a high hop and made it fairly hard to play by the third baseman, Connor Johnson. So Wicks is safe at first as we are starting at the top of the lineup. We've got Cade Crawford, who has a couple of singles with a strikeout sandwiched in between those. I think his single earlier was also one that might have been able to be an error. In any case, I've got him down for 2 singles. That one's going to be high and outside. Ball 1 from Everett Hanna. Wicks takes his lead on first base. Hanna takes a look over his shoulder. Now is the pickoff attempt is not going to be in time. Cade Crawford, he's a senior. He's over here telling the dugout they were to get vocal over there as they were being loud earlier. Now they're all of a sudden quiet. That pitch is going to miss for ball 2, and they were going to attempt to throw down to second base on, I think, a hit and run look or a steal look by Wicks. And the ball pops out of Reeves' glove, and they can't get the throw down. Trace Wicks gets it safe on the stolen base. So Wicks safe at second. Next pitch is going to be tagged down the right field line, and that's going to be in play. Let's see if he can turn it into a double, and Crawford is going to be safe at second on the big double. So a big double down the right field line is going to put runners at second and third. Cade Crawford is second. Trace Wicks is on third base. No outs. Wyatt Holmes, he is 0 for 0. He has been up 3 times, and he has walked 3 times, so he's looking to get his first hit of the game. Hanna looks over to the third base. Now checks second. Now the stretch. The pitch on the way. That's going to be a little bit high for ball 1. Everett looks in, gets the signal, checks the bags. Now the pitch on the way. That one's going to be in the dirt. Ball 2. Trace Wicks was really wanting to take off running from third base on that one. I heard Matt Smith down at third and Coach Teft in the dugout both yelling, no, no, no. 2 balls, no strikes to Holmes. Next pitch on the way. That was a nice looking pitch. Called strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike to Wyatt Holmes. Everett takes a look. Oh, he's going to try to throw. No, the ball gets knocked loose out of the glove, and Cade is safe. On the second baseman, I guess, that brought the run in. That pitch misses for ball 3. So Trace Wicks scores there on a pickoff attempt that went awry out to second base as the ball came loose. I actually don't know if it was an error, because I think that ball got knocked loose by Crawford. That pitch is high and inside. Wyatt 4 at bats and 4 walks for him. So still no outs. Runners on first and second for the Lumberjacks. Riley Abel is going to step to the plate. He has 2 walks and a ground out, and it looks like we're going to see a pitching change for the Spartans. We'll be back.
For all your plumbing needs, call Nick's Plumbing and Heating. With Nick's professional staff, you can be assured of guaranteed quality products, installation, service, and repair of all of your plumbing. So if you have plumbing or problems, call the good folks at Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Call 245-5460. That's 245-5460. Nick's Plumbing and Heating. Installation, service, and repair when you need it. Nick's Plumbing and Heating, St. Mary's.
Are your friends and family tired of sleeping with Fido when they visit? Maybe Fido's tired of sleeping with them. Either way, the Pines Motel is there to save the day. With spacious rooms, comfortable beds, and even a mini fridge, Fido may get jealous. Save the floor for Fido and call Kevin of the Pines Motel at 245-2545. That's the Pines Motel in St. Mary's. I'm sure your friends and family would appreciate it, and so would Fido. If you have OCD, obsessive coffee disorder, then stop by Shift and Grind, located in the green building right across the street from Jack's Pharmacy. Shift and Grind is a proud Lumberjack supporter and has something for everyone. From regular coffees to lattes, mochas, and more, Shift and Grind will keep your day going. Try a Red Bull infused or Lotus energy drink if you're not a coffee fan. On Lumberjack home game days, wear your Lumberjack colors and get a discount on your favorite drink. Shift and Grind now has indoor seating. Shift and Grind open 5 to 6 Monday through Friday, 6 to 4 on the weekends. Shift and Grind, 132 North 1st Street, right here in St. Mary's.
And we are back. The pitching change is Tyson Brooks goes to the mound for the Spartans. And the first pitch to Riley Abel is a swing and a miss for strike 1. Tyson Brooks, no ERA for him. 1 appearance, 1 hit, 1 walk. He's only pitched for 0.2 of an inning. Faced 4 batters. That next pitch is going to be strike 2. Connor Johnson goes back over to first base. Everett Hanna goes to shortstop. Colby Rogers goes over to third. Nathan Thompson goes out to center field for the Spartans. 0-2 count to Abel. Next pitch is going to be a strike 3 on a swing. And that will retire Abel to the dugout. That'll bring up Gabe Thomas, who was hit by pitch, and then he has 2 singles after that. 1 out, runners at first and second for St. Mary's. We've got Wyatt Holmes over at first. Kate Crawford sitting at second base. Gabe Thomas has 2 singles in the game. Now he's got to figure out a new pitcher, though, so we'll see what he can do. Runners taken off and it's a swing and a miss, and they're going to get the stolen base in time for Crawford. So now both runners in scoring position. Crawford at third, Holmes second, Thomas with 1 strike, no balls. The 0-1 pitch on the way, and that one was a nice looking off-speed pitch that's going to get him to swing on it. That was an early swing at a slow one. 0-2 is the count to Thomas. Always takes just a little bit to get used to a new pitcher. So Brooks looks in, the pitch on the way, and that one looked like a fastball. It's going to be fouled off. 0-2 the count to Thomas as he battles for his plate appearance here. Brooks looks in, gets his signals, the stretch, the pitch on the way. Oh, and that was another one of those weird ones. And it's going to be a drop third strike. That's going to make him safe. Thomas is safe at first, and Crawford comes in on that error, as it was a throwing error as it got past the first baseman, and Holmes ends up on third. So we've got runners at the corners. I'll bring up Brock Anderson with 1 out. He reached on a drop third just like Thomas just did earlier. And that pitch is going to be low, and it's a ball. Gabe Thomas was already on the way for the steal, but it's going to be a passed ball, and Thomas is over to second base. 2 runs across for St. Mary's in the top of the 5th. They've made back up for the 2 runs they gave up in the bottom of the 4th. It is now 9-2 in favor of St. Mary's. Tyson Brooks gets his signals from Reeves. Now the stretch, the pitch on the way, and that Brock with a hit out into right field. Brock Anderson puts it in play with an RBI single. Gabe Thomas comes flying around the bases, and it's a 2 RBI hit by Brock Anderson. So Anderson sitting at first base now with 1 out. Milo Marsh is up. Marsh is 0 for 3. He has 3 strikeouts for him. A strikeout swinging, strikeout looking, and a strikeout swinging. Marsh looking for his first hit here today. Lumberjacks up 11-2 over the Spartans here in the top of the 5th inning. The stretch, the pitch, and that's hit out into right field. And it's a base hit for Milo Marsh. Just out of reach of the first baseman and the second baseman. Just was right in there. High hop, too. And everybody's safe. Runners now first and second. Coach is calling time. He's going to go out, and the Spartan coach, he's going to go and talk to the umpire, I think. I'm not sure. I think he's not 100% sure what he was doing, but he's getting a little bit of explanation or something out there. That'll bring up the lefty Tanner McMaster, who's also looking for his first hit today. He's been hit by pitch to get on base in his first at bat, but he's grounded out twice since then. On deck is Sean Hunter for the Lumberjacks, and it'll be back to the top of the order. St. Mary's with 1 out, 4 runs across here in the top of the 5th inning. Lumberjacks have put a run across in each of the 5 innings so far. The stretch, the pitch. That's a nice one, and it's a strike 1 called, as that looked like a fastball right across the heart of the plate. Brooks with the stretch, the pitch on the way, and that one's going to hit him. That'll load up the bases now with just 1 out. Bottom of the order, Sean Hunter. He has faced the same things here. He has not had a day that he wants to remember at the moment. A strikeout swinging, a strikeout looking, and a strikeout swinging. He is the lone Lumberjack with a home run, though, and maybe now would be a good time for him to get a second home run on the season. Just over 300 feet to the right field and left field. That one's going to be low for ball one. Deep center, I think they said, was over 400. They actually put in a different fence that cuts off part of that because they thought it was just too deep of a center field for high school ball. 1-0 count to Hunter. Bases loaded, 1 out. Next pitch, he's going to take a swing. It's going to be a little chopper. They're going to go for the throw. At first, they were thinking to go to third, and they're going to throw for the force out to first, and it's going to be an error, really, on the catcher, because that should have been the easy force out there, and he should have caught that, and he did not. I think the hesitation by the pitcher caught Reeves off guard for a minute there. He thought he was going to maybe go for the out at first. Then he remembered force out at home, and Reeves wasn't quite ready for it. That first pitch to Trace Wicks as we're back into the top of the order is high for ball one. Bases still loaded. St. Mary's with a 10-run lead, 12-2. Wicks has had a good day after his first at-bat. He had a strikeout swinging in his first at-bat, but he's had 3 singles since then. Brooks looks in the stretch, the pitch on the way. That was a nice-looking pitch, but it stayed a little bit high in the zone. Ball 2. Just didn't quite get that one down enough to be a called strike, but it was close. 2 balls, no strikes to Wicks. The pitch on the way. That one's going to be down low. Going to try it. Oh, and there's an E on the catcher there, an error as he tries to get the throw to the plate and he misses his target. 2 runs come across. So 2 more runs come across for St. Mary's. Sean Hunter sitting second base, the lone base runner on now. 3 balls, no strikes to Trace Wicks. Lumberjacks lead 14-2 here in the top of the 5th. Brooks with the pitch on the way, and that's going to be high for ball 4, and Wicks will earn a walk. Change in the batting order as we've got Gavin Milliken checking in for St. Mary's. First pitch for Milliken, he's going to swing and miss. Strike 1. Pass ball advances Hunter over to third. Gavin Milliken batting .357 on the season. 4 runs, 5 hits, 3 RBIs. He has a double to his credit. He has only struck out once, 14 plate appearances, and 14 at-bats. So he's had some pretty good quality at-bats. And Milliken is a junior. He's going to take a swing at the next pitch. Runners at the corners for St. Mary's. I think he has 2 strikes, but I'm not sure. I missed one there. That one's going to be a strike. And strike 3. So Milliken goes down swinging. That's 2 outs for the Lumberjacks. Brings back up Wyatt Holmes for St. Mary's. And I need to adjust his number in my stuff. He is actually number 2. He is 0 for today. He has 4 appearances and 4 walks. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Brooks' first pitch to Holmes is left up high. Ball 1. I actually think it's the first pitch in general as well for Brooks. Top of the 5th inning, Lumberjacks lead 14-2 over the Spartans. Next pitch on the way, that's going to be up high. they try a throw down to third, it is not going to be in there in time. Hunter is safe. So once again, 7 runs across for St. Mary's here in the top of the 5th. They lead 14-2. And you're listening to Lumberjack Baseball on KOFE 1240 in St. Mary's, Idaho. You might also be listening or watching on our YouTube stream. Brooks looks in, gets his signals. 1 ball, no strikes to home. No, 2 balls, it looks like, on the scoreboard. I don't think they've fixed the scoreboard since that last one, since the last batter. So that's ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes, I do believe. Brooks looks in, gets his signal. The stretch, the pitch, that one's going to be up high. And they say ball 4, so I must have missed a pitch somewhere in there. That brings up another change in the order as Gavin Wimhoff steps in. Wimhoff is a freshman, batting .400 on the season. 4 runs, 2 hits, 1 RBI, 1 double, 3 walks, 1 strikeout, 8 plate appearances, 5 at bats, and the first pitch is a call or is a strike. I didn't see if it was called or a swing because I was giving you the stats. So it's a 1 strike to Gavin Wimhoff with 2 outs, runners on all 3 bases for the Lumberjacks. I don't know how to save myself. I mean to say bases loaded, so that pitch misses for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Wimhoff. Runners getting their leads. Brooks looks in, gets his signals from Reeves. The stretch, the pitch. Oh, that looked like it might have been going to be a ball. It might have been a high in the zone, but he takes a nice swing at it. It is strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Wimhoff. That was just too good of a looking pitch for him to hold off on. Brooks looks in, trying to get the strikeout here. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Wimhoff. Brooks, the stretch, the pitch. And good high by Wimhoff as that one was up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. The stretch, the pitch. That looked like a good pitch, and it was a called strike 3 as Wimhoff is going to go down looking. Lumberjacks do come up with 7 runs on 4 hits. There were 4 errors, and there was 3 left on base. And the Lumberjacks lead 14-2. We'll be back.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Idaho high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the Idaho High School Activities Association and the Idaho Athletic Administrators Association.
Spring is here, and you can make your home beautiful this summer with help from 10th Street Lumber. Besides all the building materials you'll ever need, 10th Street Lumber has landscaping supplies. They have landscaping bricks, concrete bricks, paving bricks, as well as planting materials. So stop by today, whether you're building a deck, a patio, or planting flowers, 10th Street Lumber has it all. 10th Street Lumber at 10th Street and Railroad Avenue, right here in St. Mary's.
Wondering how to manage your retirement nest egg? How big should it be when you retire? Contact Jenny Oakes at Gateway Financial Partners to get the answers to these and all your other financial questions. The securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC. With over 30 years of financial planning, give Jenny Oakes a call at Gateway Financial Partners today. The guidance is free. The experience is priceless. Call 245-5255.
And we are back, and Coach Teft has made some changes in the outfield as the Spartans will need to plate at least 3 runs, I believe, to keep this game going here. St. Mary's has a 14-2 lead, so the 10-run rule should be in effect here if the Spartans do not get at least 3. No, they'd have to get, 3 across. Pitching for the Lumberjacks now is Ricky Nelson. He's going to come in to try to close this thing out. He is a freshman. He has earned an average of 2.5 with 1 win. He's got 5 appearances, 10 hits, 7 runs, 3 of which were earned, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts. He has faced 40 batters, and he has 8 innings pitched. We've still got, I believe, Cade Crawford, I think. Actually, I don't think that is. I believe we've also got a change with Dylan Holder behind home plate. So we've got Nelson on the mound, Holder behind home plate, Millick first, Badgett at second, Holmes still at third, Wicks at shortstop still, Wimhoff in left, Thomas in center, and Jackson Nantel in right. And the first pitch is going to be a strike to Everett Hanna. I believe that is who batting. Yes, it is. Stretch the pitch. That's going to be fouled off. Strike 2. Ricky Nelson has been showing a lot of potential as a freshman here in his pitching for the Lumberjacks. Being this young of a team, the struggles that the Lumberjacks have had is a little bit in the pitching side and a little bit on the defensive side in this season. The stretch, the pitch. That one's a little high for ball 1. Just take a look. The Lumberjacks have a total of 31 errors on the season. Their fielding percentage is .855. The Spartans have 4 errors, and that one is going to be fouled back. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes to Everett Hanna. The stretch, the pitch. That one's going to be left high. 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Hanna. Another little wind gust comes blowing through here, blowing the dust off the infield. It's coming from the north, kind of blowing across down to the southwest. Next pitch on the way. That is hit deep center field, and it's going to be Gabe Thomas that drifts back and makes the catch for the first out. That was a nice hit. Nice rip there by Hanna, but that just went right to Gabe Thomas as he drifted back a little bit and a little bit to his right and made that catch, or actually to his left. That'll bring up Brayton Reeves for the Spartans with 1 out, nobody on. Ricky Nelson, the pitch. That's going to be a ground ball. The third baseman Holmes, the throw to first. Oh, we're going to have an A1 there as Milliken did not make that catch on the throw. Just off of his glove. They're going to get a courtesy runner for Reeves, who is the catcher. Number 5, and I don't have a 5. On my roster, that might be Reeves. I'm not sure. That's going to be a ground ball, and that's going to take a 1-hopper over the glove of Holmes. I'm not going to give that as an error. I'm going to give it as a hit. As he had his glove down there in place, and that just popped right over his glove. So that'll bring up Connor Johnson for the Spartans. He has a walk and a strikeout. 1 out, runners on first and second. Like I said, the Spartans have to play 3 runs to keep the game going. And that's going to be hit right back at Ricky Nelson. It's going to get just past the shortstop, and it's going to bring 1 run across for the Spartans. Now, I'm going to give that a single as well. Runners stay at first and second for the Spartans. 1 run across here in the bottom of the 5th. There's 1 out. 14-3, the Spartans trail. Nelson's next pitch just outside, ball 1. Tyson Brooks steps up. His last at-bat was a single. He has a single and a walk. Nelson takes a look to second. That pitch is going to be a called strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike now. The stretch, the runner's taken off. The pitch, and that is a high fly ball. That is going to drop foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dylan Holder's dugout giving him a hard time as he lost that ball up there in the air. That one was hit high up in the air, foul. Couldn't quite get to it or find it. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Tyson Brooks. 1 out, runner on second and first. The run that would extend this game sits at first base. The stretch, the pitch, swing, and a miss. And he'll strike out swinging. So that's 2 outs. That'll bring up Naden Thompson. He walked his last at bat. He struck out his first at bat. 2. First pitch is going to be a strike on the outside corner. Gabe Thomas not the one in center. We'll remember. Runners at the corners for the Spartans. 2 outs. Next pitch, line drive, grounder, really right at the first base, or right at the pitcher. And it's going to be Jared Badgett that is able to get it. Steps on the bag for the force out. And let me make sure I get that right because I didn't do that. So it's not a single. Well, it is a force out, fielder's choice. Undo. Oh, undo that too. So in play, fielder's choice. He was out. And that is the game, I do believe. St. Mary's wins 14-3. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back to wrap the game up.
Triple X Feeds in St. Mary's is your one-stop farm and garden shop. Everything from pet supplies to livestock feeds and supplies, Triple X Feeds has it. Horse supplies, they have that also. From saddle pads to bridles, Triple X Feeds can set you up. Triple X Feeds now has hay and alfalfa in stock as well as straw. Triple X Feeds, located at 130 East College Avenue in St. Mary's, open 8 to 5:30 weekdays and 9 to 5 on Saturdays. Triple X Feeds, a proud Lumberjack sports broadcast sponsor.
And we are back as we will be wrapping things up. As we will quickly go over the score here in the innings-wise. St. Mary's played at 1 run in the first, 3 in the second, 1 run in the third, 2 in the fourth, 7 in the fifth. And then the Spartans had 2 runs in the fourth, 1 run in the fifth, but it was not enough to overcome the 10-run rule as they fall 14-3. Lumberjacks had 10 hits, the Spartans with 5, 2 Lumberjack errors, 7 Spartan errors, 11 left on base for St. Mary's, and 6 left on base for the Spartans. Looking at some team stats for the Spartans, let's see here. Their batting average today was, tallies up here on my screen. Just give it a moment. Update on our schedule. I don't I did bring this week's schedule for the Lumberjacks, and I'll give you that here in a minute. Okay, so let's see. The Spartans into the batting 278 today. The leading batters they had Colton Brooks batted perfect. It was 500 by Tyson Brooks, Connor Johnson 500, and Colby Rogers 500. For the Lumberjacks, let's see what they did. The Lumberjacks batted 357 here today. Wicks and Crawford were 750, 667 for Thomas, 333 for Brock Anderson, 250 for Milo Marsh, and 357 is a total. The Lumberjacks hits, let's see here, 3 hits for Wicks, 3 hits for Crawford, 2 hits for Thomas, 1 hit for Anderson, 1 for Marsh. Runs scored, 3 for Wicks, 2 for Crawford, 2 for Holmes, 2 for Thomas, 2 for Anderson, 1 for Marsh, 2 for McMaster. RBIs, 8 RBIs for Lumberjacks. 1 for Abel, 2 for Thomas, 3 for Brock, 1 for McMaster, 1 for Sean Hunter. On the fielding, St. Mary's ends up at 905 with a couple of errors, so not too bad there. On the pitching, Gabe Thomas ended up with 4 strikeouts. He the win. He had 4 strikeouts, 3 hits, 5 walks, and 1 hit batter. And Ricky Nelson came in. He had 1 strikeout, 2 hits, no walks, and no hit batters. So he had a good inning. It was a total of the ERI in this game was ERA, I should say, was 2.8 for St. Mary's. So a pretty good game overall for the Lumberjacks, and I believe they improved to 3-6 on the season. Upcoming schedule, let's see here. On Wednesday, good luck to the golf team. Boys and girls will be at the Lakeland High School Lakeland JV Duel. That'll be at the Twin Lakes Golf Course. On Saturday, the track team will be at Kellogg for the Kellogg Invite. And then on Saturday, boys and girls will be at Grangeville for doubleheaders. I do not think we're going to make it up there. If anything changes, we'll let you know on that one. But that is going to do it for us here from Priest River as the Lumberjacks come away with the win. And let me see here. I'm not actually totally ready for our ending here, but we are just about there. So we got the upcoming schedule. I think our next broadcast for sure for the girl, I think it's for the girls, and I think it's going to be the home game. Well, I'm not going to even attempt to remember who it is. Let me take a look real quick. I've got the schedules. Hang on just a second. So the girls play the 24th. I think the boys the girls will play on the 23rd. They will host Kamei, but that's the day that the boys host Orofino, and that's the games we are going to do. Will be the boys against Orofino on the 23rd. So that is our next broadcast for Lumberjacks that I know for sure unless something changes. But that's going to wrap it up for us here from Priest River. And here we go. Thanks for tuning in.
You've been listening to another production of Lumberjack Sports on KOFE 1240 St. Mary's, your Lumberjack Sports Network. We thank you for tuning in and hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We also want to thank our Lumberjack Sports broadcast sponsors and hope you'll do the same. Without them, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. Until next time, same as always, go Lumberjacks! Hey, hey.